Welcome back to Animal Appreciation. This week we're talking about sharks. I am a big fan of sharks. They're up there in probably my top 10 favorite animals, so let's go. Of course, we gotta start off with my all-time favorite, the thresher shark. This guy's 10 out of 10. Look, their tail, they can breach. Is that called breach? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's called breaching. But, like, they can jump up super high, and like underwater they can look purple in some conditions, and if you look at their face they always look permanently anxious. I love them. Top tier shark. These guys are found pretty much worldwide, but they do tend to prefer warmer oceans. We have the zebra shark, which does not look very much like a zebra, I'm gonna say. It's got the spots there. Zebra sharks, along with a few other species on this list, are able to sit on the bottom of the ocean and just chill out, so they're not ram ventilators like most other shark species, so they do not actually have to keep swimming in order to be able to breathe like a bunch of other sharks on this list. It is kind of a common myth that all sharks need to keep swimming in order to breathe, but that is only true of sharks that are obligate ram ventilators. And I will make an entire other video about ram ventilation specifically. It's on my list. I just don't want to get into that right now. And zebra sharks live in the Pacific Ocean, kind of around like from Japan all the way down to Australia. And they're just pretty chill. They just sit there, they eat small mollusks and crustaceans and yeah, small fish, crustaceans, all that. Absolutely no threat to humans at all. This is the spear-tooth shark, and it is the rarest shark in the world. It is also on my list for endangered species spotlight. And it is actually a mostly freshwater shark living in estuaries and rivers around New Guinea and Australia. This is a cookie cutter shark, and he's just a little guy, but he scares me a lot. Even though he's a little guy, look at that mouth. And there's a reason he's called the cookie cutter shark, because of instead of just like eating normal, just little fish, things that he can fit in his mouth, no, he goes up to big sea life, like other sharks, dolphins, seals, tuna, big fish, all that, and takes bites out of them. Just takes these circular bites, like with that circle mouth, and just takes a chunk out and just leaves a hole in the fish or whatever. I don't like that. Like, you can, like, see, if you look up cookie cutter sharks, you will see these circular bites taken out of, like, fucking great white sharks and stuff. Insane. And we've got our goblin shark. They're long nose and hyostylic jaws. They're a deep sea shark, and just look at him. We've got our frilled sharks, another type of deep sea shark that used to be thought to be extinct, but was then recently, well, not super recently, but recently-ish rediscovered. And I see a lot of those extinct animals brought back to life of, like, holy shit, the proof that aliens are real. But no, it's just a frilled shark. They're not extinct. Lots of people think they are, but they're not. They're just deep sea, and they don't come up very often. And they tend to like more cooler northern waters, so around like Norway, Scotland, Ireland, all that. We've got the nurse shark, which is another shark species that just likes to chill on the bottom of the ocean and just kind of hangs out. They can get to be decently big, but they are no threat to humans, pretty much, unless you get like whacked by their tail, but they live in the Pacific and the Atlantic, but they tend to prefer warmer waters. And they tend to eat just like small bottom-dwelling creatures like mollusks, crustaceans like crabs, like squid and stuff. Yeah, no threat to humans. Got the mako shark, another one of my favorites. This one is, I think, the short-finned mako. They are the fastest shark species in the world and one of the fastest fish species, and they can reach top speed of like 74 kilometers per hour, which is insane. And don't quote me on this, but I do think these are one of the more aggressive species. I think they do have a pretty high amount of recorded attacks, but I don't know, I didn't look that up, I just think I heard it somewhere. They live in the Atlantic Ocean, all the way like down from Argentina up to Nova Scotia. There's the basking shark, which is, I think, the second largest shark species. These guys live pretty much worldwide. They can be found in almost every ocean, and they are filter feeders, so they swim around with their mouth open like this. That has two functions. One, it helps them breathe by ram ventilation, and two, when they have their mouth open, when the water goes in, so does all of the like floating plankton and stuff, so that gets filtered through their gills, and that's what they eat. They don't eat humans, even though they very easily probably could. Another fan favorite, this is the tasseled wobbegong, and it doesn't look very much like a shark, but I promise it is. And just exquisite. Beautiful. 10 out of 10, no notes. Wobbegongs tend to be ambush predators, so they just kind of sit on the bottom of the ocean and wait for their food to come by. When it does, they just grab it and eat it. That's pretty cool. I love this shark. He's beautiful. This is the salmon shark. He just kind of looks like a compressed great white shark. He's a pretty little guy. They tend to live in cooler waters of the North Pacific Ocean. This is the spiny dogfish. Again, big fan of these guys. I dissected one of them in my vertebrate structure and function lab. Thank you, Alfred. You were a great dissection subject. Godspeed. Very interesting to dissect. Lots of cool insides. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Alfred. MVP. They're found pretty commonly in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Of course, we have the hammerhead shark, one of the most well-known shark species, for good reason. I mean, look at his fucking head. They're a mostly coastal shark, so they like to hang around in the Atlantic and Indian Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. They can go into more open ocean, but they like to stay near the coasts mostly. Here we have the Greenland shark. Often gets confused for megalodon when seen on footage. They live up super north, so like around Greenland, in the Arctic Ocean, and like just up in northern areas. They can be very, very long-lived, with an estimate of the minimum lifespan at about 250 years. Maximum is estimated to be close to 500 years. And also, they are toxic if eaten due to chemicals in their meat to help them survive in the cold waters. And people do eat them. They are a delicacy in some areas, but they have to be prepared very specifically because otherwise they are very toxic. We have my second favorite shark species, the blacktip reef shark. I love these guys. They like more coastal areas and are found all around like Thailand, Australia there. They like the coast and they like coral reefs. And again, I think this is one of the more aggressive shark species. They do have numerous recorded attacks. We've got the tiger shark. These guys can get to be very big, and again, they do have quite a few recorded attacks on them. They are a decently aggressive shark species, and they are found pretty much worldwide. They live pretty much everywhere. We have the bonnethead shark, which looks like a hammerhead shark had a baby with a shovel. They, again, prefer more coastal areas. They like to hang out around, reefs and, places with, a lot of mud and places to hide. But these guys, they're cool little guys. And, of course, we have the great white shark, the most well-known shark species. Everybody, if they're asked to name one shark, they will name the great white shark. Jaws, all the shark attack movies, yeah. Again, these guys are found worldwide, but typically prefer warmer climates, and they can get really big, max up to 20 feet in length, which is ridiculous. And finally, we have the largest shark species in the world, the whale shark. It is another filter feeder, fuck off, like the basking shark. Again, they feed on plankton, they're harmless to humans, but they are very big, so you don't want to get too close to them because they are fucking massive. Yeah, they're big boys with max size of just under 60 feet long. So yeah, sharks. I love sharks. Sharks are great.